Alex Eala included in Indian Wells Open players list. Alexandra Alex Eala is set for a busy stretch in the coming weeks after being included in the players list for the Indian Wells Open, BNP Paribas Open. The Indian Wells Open will be held from March 4th to 15th, just ahead of the Miami Open, which runs from March 17th to 29th. Among the other players listed for Indian Wells are Aryna Sabalenka, Iga Swiatek, Elena Rybakina, Naomi Osaka, Yelena Ostapenko, Barbara Krejcikova, Emma Raducanu, and Madison Keys, all Grand Slam champions. Also included are familiar Eala foes such as Ekaterina Alexandrova, Maya Joint, Christina Buxa, Janice Tien, and Victoria Mboko. Following her ongoing campaign at the Abu Dhabi Open, where Eala reached the semi-finals of the doubles tournament with Tien, the Filipina ace is expected to compete next at the Qatar Open, followed by the Dubai Tennis Championships. She is currently listed as a qualifier for Dubai, according to the WTA website. Eala has been competing since the start of the year, reaching the semi-finals of the ASB Classic before being named champion of the Kooyong Classic Exhibition Tournament. At the Australian Open, she exited in the first round following a loss to Alicia Parks, then returned to Manila to compete in the Philippine Women's Open. Glowing star, breaking the baseline, the Alex Eala story and her Indian Wells Odyssey. A creative exploration of dreams, destiny, and the dance of tennis. A dawn of a dreamer. In the rhythms of a racket against a bouncing ball, there is a heartbeat, one that seldom stops once it begins. For Alexandra Alex Menego Eala, this heartbeat started not on a grand stadium court, but in the warmer light of a Philippines afternoon. Born on May 23, 2005, in Quezon City, she was surrounded by stories of athletic ambition. Her mother was a competitive swimmer and her uncle a respected sports leader, but Alex's destiny was never meant for the pool or the boardroom. She spoke the language of topspin and footwork from her earliest memories. By her early teenage years, Alex stood at a crossroads common to few young athletes in her country: stay home or chase greatness abroad. The decision was seismic. She left her homeland for Spain at age 13 to join the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca, an elite training ground known for discipline, reinvention, and rivalry. This leap of faith wasn't just about improving her skills, it was about reshaping her identity from a talented youth to a contender on the world stage. 2. Trials by fire, from juniors to the professional tour. At Rafa Nadal's academy, each dawn greeted Alex with a new lesson: precision over power, patience over panic, and belief over doubt. Young athletes there learn strategy on clay and grit in the gym, but the real transformation happens where no coach can see, inside the player's mind. For Alex, that transformation bore fruit early. She made history as the first Filipino to win a junior Grand Slam title, triumphing at the US Open Girls Singles. This wasn't just another trophy, it was a statement that reverberated far beyond Manila's tennis courts. Turning professional in March 2020, Alex navigated expectations, critics, and moments of solitude thousands of miles from home. Her left-handed swing, compact yet creative, became her signature. On paper she was a rising prospect, but in spirit she was a storyteller, forging her narrative point by point, set by set. 3. The Indian Wells Revelation. Now, picture this: the desert sun hanging low over Indian Wells, California, where legends stride courts lined with fans from around the world. This is the BNP Paribas Open, one of tennis's most prestigious stages outside the Grand Slams. In early February 2026, a name that once seemed improbable on this roster appeared among the stars: Alex Eala. Her inclusion wasn't a lucky wild card or mere ceremonial gesture. It was earned through relentless training, breakthrough performances, and a growing belief that the world had underestimated the fierce Filipina from the Pacific. Imagine the weight of that moment, walking past banners featuring Olympic champions, Grand Slam winners, and titans of the sport. Players such as Aryna Sabalenka, Iga Swiatek, Naomi Osaka, Yelena Ostapenko, and Emma Raducanu, all names etched in tennis lore, stood alongside Alex on the official entry list, welcoming her into their rarefied company. To many observers, this was as much a cultural milestone as a sporting one. The Philippines, a nation with a rich sporting heritage but limited tennis infrastructure, would have a contender on one of the biggest courts in the world. For more than rankings, the heart beneath the serve. But numbers and lists only tell part of the story. For Alex, tennis is not just competition, it's conversation, a dialogue between intention and instinct. Her playing style mirrors her journey, strategic yet spontaneous, bold yet grounded. She isn't the tallest or the most powerful, but she reads rallies like a poet reads verses. She shapes angles, redirects pace, and listens to the rhythm of the match like a dancer hears music. This artistry was on display in other WTA tournaments leading into Indian Wells. Earlier in her season, she made waves at the ASB Classic, reached the semis in doubles at the Abu Dhabi Open, and captured the Kuyang Classic exhibition title, each a reminder that her progress was not linear, but dynamic and evolving. Even setbacks became chapters in her development. A first-round exit at the Australian Open didn't define her year, it refocused her resolve. Returning home to compete in the Philippine Women's Open and advancing to the quarterfinals of the Abu Dhabi Open singles showed a player unafraid to learn from loss and grow resilient. Beyond the baseline, cultural resonance. Alex Eala's rise carries significance far beyond tennis scores. In the streets of Manila, on family living room televisions, and across social media feeds, people saw not just an athlete, but themselves reflected in her ambition. Her success signaled possibility, that talent from unexpected places can thrive on global stages. Young fans began grinning at tennis rackets, parents dreamed of courts instead of classrooms, whispers of, someday, became thunderous applause. Her journey resonates particularly with young women in Southeast Asia who often face traditional expectations about career paths and physical pursuit. For them, Alex isn't merely a player, she's a catalyst for imagination. 6. The Indian Wells stage, a play of characters. At Indian Wells, the canvas was set for one of the most compelling dramas in women's tennis. Opposite Alex stood figures etched in winner's circles and major final posters. There was Sabalenka, the powerhouse, Swiatek, the tactician, Osaka, the valiant champion, and Raducanu, the resilient story of breakthroughs. For Alex, this was not a moment to shrink, it was a moment to announce her presence. In tennis, each match is a narrative arc, an opening gambit, the battle's mid-game, the unexpected reversals, the final surge. What makes tennis beautiful is its capacity for surprise, how the unheralded can challenge the familiar, how composure can outsmart ferocity, how belief can topple doubt. And belief was Alex's currency.